Let us try to solve the exercise number 7 in the part B of Advanced Java Lab. In this exercise, we are supposed to create a linked list. So that's what they said. So I'm highlighting on this A. So we are supposed to create a linked list and perform the following operation. The operations include the insertion of some element at a specified position, swap the two elements in the linked list, iterate a linked list in the reverse order, and surprisingly, compare two linked lists. Now, because they said create a linked list, now the usually question comes, so where is the second linked list? Okay, and finally, they expect you to convert the linked list into an array list. So these are the things that we are supposed to do it. So let's look at how we can achieve the result. Now, first of all, because this is not a data structure class, I'm not going to create a linked list like how you are creating it in the data structure class. We are talking about the advanced Java, and we are already familiar with the collections which are there in the Java. And one such collection under the list is the linked list. So we are going to make use of that linked list. Let me go ahead and let me start a new project by clicking on the file and new project. I'm going to select under the Java, I'm going to select the Java application. I'm going to click on next, and I'm going to give the name as linked list demo. Let me click finish because there's nothing much to be done over here. So in this particular program, we are going to create a linked list. So I'm going to use the default application that default class that the NetBeans has created, and I'm going to type my code in the main method over here. So let's start by creating a linked list. So I'm going to say linked list. So let me do the thing. Now, when you try to do that linked list, the lot of options will come. I'm going to just say linked list. Now, the NetBeans may understand or NetBeans may not understand. I'm going to click on this bulb, and when I click on this bulb, you notice that if I click on this particular bulb, the NetBeans says that there is a linked list class in the java.utilities. So you get the linked list class, and that's what I wanted. So I'm going to just press, you can click on this or press enter. So what Java, the NetBeans has done is it's going to import the java.utility.linked list, and that is going to be there. Now, like the array list, you have to be specific about what type of linked list you're going to create. So I'm going to say this is a list of integers. You can create the list of a linked list of string or character or any other data type for that matter, but or maybe students or anything for that matter, you can create it. But I'm not going to do that thing. I'm going to keep the thing simple by saying that I'm going to create a linked list, and I'm going to call this linked list as my first list. Remember, there are the reason I call it as first list is because in the question they have said that we are supposed to create a linked list and we are supposed to compare it with the other list. So that will be my second list as such. So I'm going to create my first list by saying f list is equal to new linked list of integers. And definitely it is of integers. I'm going to just create the linked list. In the same way, I think my spelling is not a proper integer. Sorry, I think integers. Integer. No, there is no plural there. This is integer. And in the same way, I'm going to create my second list. I'm not going to type it. I'm going to use Control C and Control V, and I'm going to call this as my second list. I'm creating this second list right in the beginning because I know that at the end I have to compare these two linked lists. So that's the reason I'm doing it. So let's come back on to the subject, and definitely you need to enter something. You need to read something from the keyboard, and we definitely need a scanner class, and or familiar scanner, which is there from the java.utilities. I'm going to press control space and press enter here. So when you press control space, your NetBeans is going to say that are you importing it from the java.utilities. The same way you can click on this bulb and then do the same thing. So I'm going to just press enter, and what the NetBeans has done is it has imported util.java.scanner class, and I'm going to call it as in equal to new scanner. Yeah, I'm going to use the scanner class, and I'm going to use the input stream, and I'm going to say system dot in for my input string. So this I'm going to use it for reading and writing. And the next thing that they have said is write a menu driven program. So there will be a menu and there will be some choices. So I'm going to say this time I'm not going to say int. The reason for that is they are, if you look at the one that they have given over here, is they have given the character. So they have given individual character A, B, C, D as your choices, not 1, 2, 3, 4 as your choices. So I have left with no choice, then take the character as my choice. Okay, and definitely if you look at here, you have A, B, C, D, and E, and I'm going to use my exit option as X, small case X. I'm going to use. So if you type the small case F, this is going to be small c. If you type small case X, you're going to exit out of this particular program. Let me create a menu structure for this. So I'm going to use the do while loop, and I'm going to run a indefinite loop. And remember, running this kind of indefinite loop is too dangerous, because if you are not able to exit out of this particular loop, this program is going to run forever. So with that sweet note, let me start the yes out, and I'm going to give some space here, and I'm going to say this is my menu, maybe in capitals, and I'm going to use yes out, and I'm going to use some things. And those who are not familiar with what I'm doing, I'm just typing yes out and press tab immediately. Don't use space and other thing, just type yes out and press tab, and you get the option. Let's start with the first option. First option, what is the first option? First option is to insert some element. So I'm going to say insert element, insert a element. I think insert a element will be easier. And what is the next choice? I'm going to just copy this and paste it a few times, so that I don't have to do it many times. So just going to do it after here. So the second choice is choice number B. What does the choice number B says? Swap two elements. So I'm going to say swap elements. Let me say swap elements. Okay. And what is the next choice? Next choice happens to be iterate in the reverse order. Iterate in reverse, I'm going to say. So I'm going to remove this as C. C is iterate in reverse. So let me use iterate iterate in reverse. So I'm going to use that thing. I'm going to remove this colon here, not really required. Okay, so that's going to be a bit distracting there. Okay, so that's done. Let's look at the next choice that we have. The choice number D is compared to linked list. So let me go with this D, and I'm going to say compare to list. I'm going to say compare to list. Okay, and what about the next one? Compare to list. So next one is convert the linked list into array list. So I'm going to say option E is convert to array list. Okay, convert to array list, and naturally I need my favorite option there, and that my favorite option happens to be, I'm going to use the X as my option, and I'm going to say exit. Okay, so this is going to be my favorite one, and I'm going to use S out, and I'm going to say like this, and finally I'm going to say yes out, and I don't want ln here because I want it to be in the same line, and I'm going to say enter your choice, and I'm going to use this arrow over here and one space there, and I'm going to read the choice. So I'm going to read the choice. How do I read the choice? I'm going to say in dot. I'm going to read the string now. I'm going to read the string. Now I'm going to, because people can type it in small case and lowercase, so I'm going to just convert that string into lowercase first, and then I'm going to get the character at the 0th location. That's the first character that they have typed. Remember, they can type the string, but I'm going to take the first character out of that. So whatever they type will be in string. I'm going to get the first character of that string as their choice. So let's go with the switch statement. Switch on the choice. So this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go to my favorite choice first, and that is case x. So what will happen when there is a the case is x? I'm going to first say yes out, and I'm going to say thank you. So I will thank people, and I'm going to use the return statement. Remember, what is this return statement is? I'm going to return out of this static void main loop. So everything is going to exit when you come out of that loop. So there is nothing much to be done over here. And what else we can do? I'm going to use the default option. And what is this default option? And the default option is system dot yes out, and I'm going to say wrong. What is this? Wrong choice. Okay, dot dot dot. Let's say and slash n, and I'm going to say try again. Okay, something of this type. Let me give it a try and see whether I'm going to exit out of this particular thing or not. So I'm going to just run this one and just see whether I get the choice, and I'm going to type the choice as 6, which is definitely not a number, and I get the wrong choice, and I'm going to type the x, my favorite one. Let me zoom in for you. So I'm going to type I typed the 6 last time, and it is wrong choice. What is this that is coming over here? And I'm going to type the x now and not 2x, and it's going to exit, and the program has terminated. So with that done, let me go ahead with the remaining choice. Let's start with the choice number. What is this? Case number. First case is A. Case A according to them. So what is this? Case A is they expect us to insert some element at a specified position, and naturally I can create some elements over here. So I'm going to just go out over here right at the top, and I'm going to create an integer number. Remember, this is going to be a linked list of integers. So I'm going to take this one as an integer as a number. So let's go ahead and let's do that thing. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to first ask where is the position that you want to enter. So that is it, because they said insert at a particular location, so specified position. So I'm going to create one more variable. One is this int, and the other one is the position. Where do you want to put that element? So let me use this yes out here, and I'm going to say uh, I think it is better I show the, say, if you just blindly ask somebody where is you want to insert it, they will say how many elements are there in the list. So if I give them the element, okay, these many elements are there, where do you want to insert it, then they will decide something about it. I think that will be nice. Let me first uh, show them the list which is already there, or if the list is not there, I'm going to say that no elements are there in the list. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write an if statement. I'm going to go to this f list. Now, by the way, what is this f list? F list is my first linked list that I've just created. So this is my first linked list. I'm going to go to this first linked list, and I'm going to ask it what is the size of it. Okay, suppose if the size is greater than 0, then well and good, you are free to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to say elements in the list. Okay, and I'm going to show the list. Remember, f list is my first list. I don't have to call this a toString method. It's not really required because it's going to convert it into toString, and almost all collections have this toString method in which they can simply display the elements which are there within the linked list. So it will do it for you. You don't need to bother about how it's going to do it. It's going to display when you call this thing, that is a toString method. Whether you call it or not, it's going to call that thing toString. It's going to convert it or it is going to show the elements which are there inside it. So this is an obvious one. Now if there is nothing is there, suppose if the size of the linked list, what is the meaning of saying size of the linked list is if you have the linked list like this, one is pointing to the next and one is pointing to the thing. If the size is 0, what does that mean is you don't have any elements in the linked list. So that is the meaning of it. So in that case I'm going to say no elements in the, or instead of saying that good English is a list is empty. I hope that sounds great. Okay, so there is nothing is there in the list. That's what I'm going to show. Okay, then I'm going to ask the user to give me the position where they want to enter the elements. So I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to say enter the position, okay, where they want to insert the element. And definitely I don't want ln here. Let it come in the one location here. Enter the thing. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. And I'm going to say position is equal to in is my scanner class. Suppose if you're wondering from where I'm getting this in is my scanner class, where I can input from the keyboard. So I'm going to say in dot next int. I'm going to get the position where they want to insert the element. So that is what you have it. Okay, let me check the thing first. So if you ask the user to enter the position, they can enter the position. They may insert a negative number. If it is less than 0, I'm going to say yes out. Okay, enter a positive or enter a positive number or a positive position number. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, position number, that's it. This is going to be, and because I want the user to know that there was something that went wrong, I'm going to say error, enter a positive number, position number. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and let's do the remaining part. So this, if they enter the position as I want to insert the element at minus fifth position, where is the minus fifth position in the linked list? So the position can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or anything. 0th means the first position itself, that is 1 that you are typing. First position is the index 0th location. So if it is not the case, then can I directly check that thing? So I'm going to check here. I can write the if statement here itself, but I feel like I can try it in this location. So I'm going to say else if. So can I say else else, what is this, else if? Let me do that. Else if. Okay. Else if I'm going to check the uh, thing. First of all, let me cross verify whether there is elements in the list or not. So I'm going to say my, what is this, first list dot size. If the size is greater than 0, okay, so let me make some spaces over there. If the size is greater than 0, and suppose there are some elements are there, let's assume that let me tell you what I'm trying to do. Suppose you have this element 0, element say 10, 20, 30, 40. Some elements are there. So the person can enter anything. Remember, if they enter a negative number, then that is not allowed. Suppose if they enter a number which is greater than, what is the size of this? So size of this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 elements are there. Size is 4. They can specify, and then they say, I want the element to come at the 5th location. That's allowed. Okay, that is end of it. They can say that I want it to come in the first location. That is allowed. They cannot say I want to get it at the 0th location. That is not something that you expect. I think did I take care of this one 0th location, 0th position. I think I have to make it as equal to, because I don't want somebody to give the 0 also. Negative as well as 0 is not. There is nothing called a 0th position. Remember, there is something called a 0th index. Don't confuse with the position and the index. Index can be 0, but not the position. So position can be 1, 2, 3, 4 or something of that type. Okay. So I'm going to check whether the position, first of all, let me make this one. This is equal to 0 is also not allowed. So suppose if the element, there are more than one elements are there in the list. So if the thing is less than or 0, okay, if there are more than one elements are there in the list, and if the position, not the post, if the position is less than or equal to f list dot size of it, f list dot size plus 1. So what is this size plus 1? What is this? If you are confused, what is this? I wrote size plus 1. Remember, let's look at the list again. 10, 20, 30, 40. This is the list. What is the size of it? Size of it is 4 elements are there. Size is 4. I can say that I want it at the 5th position. That means size plus 1 position. This is allowed. Okay, size plus 1 position is allowed. Naturally, I can say I want it at the first position. That's allowed. I cannot say I want it at the 0th position. It is not there. Position is not there. Remember, so I'm not taking that into consideration. So let's look at that thing there. Okay, this is one option that you have. Okay, so this is if the list has some elements. What if the list is empty? Okay, if the list is empty, then you have only one choice, and that choice is the position number 1. You don't get any other choice. So I'm going to say, or remember, I put everything from here to here. I put one if statement. So this is one condition. If there are more than one elements and the position is less than size plus 1, or if the size is not greater than 0, maybe this size is not greater than 0. Okay, so what I can say is if the size is greater than 0, definitely if the size is less than 0, if the size is less than 0, naturally this will fail right at the beginning. If suppose size is greater than 0, then I'm going to compare whether the position is equal to 1. Remember, if the size is equal to 0, if it's greater than 0, you know very well what is it. Suppose if the size itself is 0, then there is only one option that is left for the position A is the first position. Otherwise, you are going to give a message. Let me say what else we can say. Okay, else let me say. I think else we can simply say yes out and say enter a proper position value. Okay, so that's it. So if the user is not giving me the proper value, then I'm going to say that thing. So look at this particular thing. What I've done is suppose if there are few elements are there in the list, then you can check the size of it and you can insert after the last element. You can insert it. That means size plus 1 you are allowed, but naturally you cannot insert at the 0, but you can insert it at first location. That's allowed. If the size itself is 0, there is nothing is there in this list, then only position where you can insert is at the position number 1. Otherwise it's not possible to insert. Suppose if they do up to here, then what are you going to say? So if everything is correct, then you are going to say enter a number. I'm going to say enter a number, and again I don't want this ln here. So enter a number, and I'm going to read that number. num is equal to in dot next int. So I read this thing. And how do I insert that one. So I'm going to say my first list dot, and you have this add at index location. So add at, remember I'm given this index, index minus one location. I'm going to say index minus one location and that number. Remember this is position. Hope you are familiar with the story of a position and the indices. So in the array you have this, this is the first position, this is the second position, this is the third position, and so on and so forth. This is the 0th index, this is the first index, and so on. So index is one less than that. So you insert the element into that particular thing, and it is inserted. Suppose in maybe I'm going to say to the user that element inserted, okay, at position, okay, maybe element not really required because you have to a lot of things to be done there. Element number is inserted, inserted. I think this is not really required. Element inserted at this position. Okay, done. Okay, so let's try this one. Definitely, you know very well. At the end of the break statement is required. At the end of any case, a break statement is required. So I'm going to put that a break statement for this case A. Let me save it. I'm pressing Control S to save it, and let me run this program. I'm going to run it for the first option only. So what is the first option is I'm going to insert at A is for inserting the elements. Okay, and you know initially the list is empty. So I have only one choice to add an element at the position 1 because list itself is empty. You have only one choice. And if the choice is 1, I'm going to say insert the element 50. Okay, so 50 is inserted at position number 1. Let me insert the one more element. Now there is a choice. Only one element is there. I can say insert it at this first location, or I can say insert it at the second location. This is the position number 1. Position number 2 is after this. So I'm going to say insert at position number 2 and press enter. And it's going to say I want to insert the element 60 after 50. Remember position 2 is, this is 50 is at the position number 1. Look at this one. 50 is at the position number 1. I want the 60 to come after that. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm going to say enter, and 60 is inserted at that position. Let me say A here, and it's going to say, you see that the 60 is inserted after that. Okay, now I have a choice to insert it at the first location. That is, remember 50 is at the first location. Look at here, 50 is at the first location. So if I say insert at the first location, 50 has to go to the next location. So that's simple as that. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say insert at the first location itself, and I want to insert 40. Okay, let me just show the list here. I'm going to press A here, and you notice that A is inserted at this location. Now what if there are three elements are there? Remember, three elements are there. So what if I type 1 2 3 fourth element? I can do it. Remember, this is the first location. I can insert it at this location. I can insert at the second location, and so on and so forth. But I can insert, this is the first location, second location, third location, fourth location. But I cannot insert at the fifth location because you have to fill the fourth location, right? So I'm going to say insert at fifth location, press enter, and you say enter proper value. I'm going to press an exit to exit out of it. So that's done. Let me bring it down here. Case A is completed. Let me go to the case B here. And what is this case B that we are supposed to do? What is this case B? So case B is swap two elements in the linked list. Okay, you can swap the two elements within the linked list. So before I swap, I'm going to show the original list so that people will come to know that this is a list that they have it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that thing. So I'm going to yes out, and I'm going to say original list is, and I'm going to use F list here. So I will first show the list to the user. That's a good thing. If they don't know what is the element, how can they interchange the position? Okay. So then I'm going to say yes out, enter the position of the elements to be swapped. Okay, something like that. Okay, because I learned English during holidays, I can type few things here. Okay, so I'm going to say that. Okay, and I'm going to again yes out, enter the I'm going to, it is enter is already there now, so I enter again. Okay, first element, element position. Hope my English you are able to follow it. Okay, that is the first element position where I want to read it. So I'm going to take two element and let me take two positions here. This was my original position. Then I have the first position and second position. Now, what is the? I hope you are familiar with the what is swapping. You take two elements, exchange one with the other. Okay. So if you still didn't get what I'm talking about is suppose if you have the list like this 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, you just say that I want the element at this position to be swapped with this element. So what is the position of this one? This is at the location 2. This is the position, not the index I'm talking. The element at the position 2, and this is 2, 3, 4. This is the element at the position number 4. So this first element position is 2 and the second element position is 4. I want them to be swapped. I want to bring this 70 here and I want to take this 50 onto the other side. So that is what I'm doing. So that is what I'm saying. Give me the position of the first element. So that is at first position. So where is the, where did I stop? I think first element position. This is what I wanted. I don't want ln here for that matter. And I'm going to read f position. Remember, I created two variables here, f position and where did I stop it? I created two variables, first position and second position. Maybe first and last position, whatever you take it as. Let me take it as I'm going to go to the in and I'm going to take next integer. So that being done, and I'm going to read the second position here. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. So what is the next thing? Second element position. I can say second element position, and I'm going to read it as yes element position. So I got the first element position and I got the second element position. Suppose if you really didn't get what I'm trying to do here is I have the element 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So as of now, what I got is the first element location and maybe the second element location. I got the two elements location. Now what I'm supposed to do is get this 50 over here and we get this other element over the other side. How do I get this thing? Okay. First of all, let me check the values, whether this the person who has given the first element, first position and the second position, are they within the limit? So that is very important. I think if it is given to a good student, they will always give the location as a good one. But this last bench students, they what they do is instead of giving this location, they will say at the 0th location or maybe they say at some other location. So that I don't want such things happening. Remember, when you accept the values from the user, naturally they can type anything there. Okay. So I need some if statement. Okay, if f position is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, there is nothing called as 0 position. And yes position is less than or equal to 0, then it is gone. Okay, so if this is the case, then I'm going to use I think combine them and I can give and say that wrong, please, okay, why please, okay, do not use positive value for positions. Okay, so I am going to say error. Okay, so that is it. Okay, else, let's go with the else part. So should I check with the else separately? Then see, this is the initial part. They can go beyond the list also. See, there are two cases are there. So some people, this is the list, suppose say, some student will give negative values. Some people will try to go beyond the list. altogether outside the list. That is also not allowed. So I'm going to say, so what is that I can say? If first position is, I think I will go with greater than, okay, flist dot size. Okay, this is one option. If the first location is this one, okay, this is one, okay, or okay, I think let me go with the and. Okay, even if one of them is wrong, then I'm going to show the error message to the user. If any one condition is satisfied, then I can say that. Second position, okay, is greater than size of this. What is this? Uh, Size of this particular list. Then you give again a same message. Uh, yes out. Okay, error. Mm. Enter the, I think, proper value for position. Whatever you give one error message, that's it. I'm not going to bother about that error message. Otherwise, if everything is proper, then we are going to get two elements. Remember, now the question is you are having a list here with some numbers, and there is a good student, and the student said that this is the first element, this is the second element. So get this element from here, okay, and push it to the other side. Get this element from here and push it to this side. So simple as that. So from the first location, get the element. From the second element, get the location, and then push it to the other side. I'm going to do it like a small child. So I get this first element. I'm going to say first element n1, and I'm going to say the f list dot get the element at this index location, that first position -1. So I get this thing. Then I'm going to say n2 is equal to first list dot get the element at the what you can say second position -1. Okay, remember what is this I have done is very quickly is that if you look at this one, f list dot get, it is taking index. So this is the problem. Index is one less than the position. Hope you are familiar with that. I don't have to explain this story again. With respect to the array, when you have this arrays, so these elements are there. Index is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, but the counting starts from 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 0 is not there. So one less than that, you got two elements. This is like a small child. You can actually reduce this one, get one element, and then push one element. But I'm going to do the that thing. So you go to the first list over here, and you're going to set the element at first element. You have to set it to the other second position. So you're going to say second position. There is a second position -1. What is it coming in the middle? Okay, second position -1. Remember -1 for okay. In the second position, put the first element. Okay, in the same way, f list, and you're going to say set in the first position. You put the second element. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, what did I do? If you are wondering what did I do, so I have some element. Okay, I have few elements. So take from the first location, you take the element. From the second location, you take the element. Okay, take the element and put it here. Take the second element and put it here. Okay, you got it. Remember position 1 -1 because I'm taking the value at the index location. Then take this element. Okay, take this element, set it to the second location. Okay, take this element, put it to the first location. So first position and second position. So this simple as that. Put them back in the, okay, and I'm going to just say yes out, and I'm going to say elements are swapped. I'm going to say swap, okay, and I'm going to say yes out, new list is, and I'm going to use a list just to show that the things are working. And as usual, at the end of the case statement, you're going to just break the case statement. Let's give it a try and see whether we are able to get the things done. So let me first create the list there by pressing 1 here. So initially first position, so I have this element 10, and again I'm going to insert the element at the second location, and that will be 20. Okay. Again, I'm going to insert. Okay, I think you are not able to see what I'm trying to do. I'm just inserting the 10, 20, 30 continuously. And the third position, I'm going to insert the element 30. And in the fourth position, I'm just inserting, just see 10, 20, 30 is there. In the position 4, I'm going to insert the element 40. So 10, 20, 30, 40 is inserted. That's it. I'm going to now swap. I'll go with the second option B, that is swap the element. Type this swap the element. This is my element 10, 20, 30. I'm going to swap this 20 with the 40. I'm going to swap that element. So 20 is there. First element position is 2. It is there at the second position. Remember, 20 is there at the second position. Okay, that's it. Press enter. Second position is 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the fourth position. Okay. And what is that you have seen? See, look at this is the original list you have 10, 20, 30, 40. After swapping, 10, 40 has been brought to the location of 20, and 20 has been brought to the location of 40. Elements are swapped. Okay, done. You're able to see that thing. Let me type my favorite one, and that is X. So let me go back and go to the next option. What is the next option? This is the case. What is the case? I think case C. We are in the case C now. Okay, what is this case C? I'm going to type this break here because sometimes I just forget that break. What is case C? Case C is iterate the linked list in the reverse order. So that's it. I don't know because I don't teach this subject to the student. I'm not sure whether they have taught you about something called as iterator. Okay. Now, what is this iterator all about? Suppose if you have a collection of objects, a lot of objects are there. Okay. Now, this iterator knows how to go through the collection of objects. So it knows how to iterate. You know, these mouse are there. They know how to go across the holes and then come out from the other hole. The same idea. These iterators are the special type of objects. They know how to pass through the different object collection and then get one element at a time. So that is the idea of iterator. And since they use the word iterate, I'm going to use the iterator itself. Let me first say given list, original list. Let's say original. Okay. What did they say? Do they want me to iterate? They just say iterate. Remember, iterate does not mean that the list will be changed. You just show it in the reverse order. That's it. You are not going to change the element. Okay. Original list is, and I'm going to use the list here. Okay. And I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to say reverse list is. Okay. Make it as a reverse list as like this. Reverse list is, and I'm going to show the list here. Remember, I have to now play around and show this thing. This is the opening bracket. Remember, whenever that list is shown, it shows like this. Okay. Uh, 30, 40, 50 like this, and then closing bracket. So I'm just using this bracket starting right at the beginning, and at the end, after I pass through it, finally I'm going to close that bracket by putting this one. Okay. Now I do not want the print line to come here. Let it be. I don't want this print line to come, but definitely at the end I want this print line to come. So in between I'm supposed to do that. How do you get this iterator? First, let me just show you. What is this? spelling iterator. Okay, iterator. Now if I press control space here, or if I use that iterator is actually a interface. So iterator is iterate over the collection, it takes the place and so on and so forth. So iterator will allow us the caller to move the one element at a time and so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to use this iterator. Okay, this is iterator. I pressed enter, that means I have the import statement automatically added by the Java, or you can use click on that bulb which comes over here. Where is this bulb? The bulb that it is not there now, the bulb, and then say import. Java will do the needful thing. And generally the word used is it, like how you have a int I for the for loop. So get the iteration. My list is f list, and you notice that that flist has an option to get a descending iterator. And what does it do? Returns the iterator over the elements in the reverse sequential order. So it is done, it's there, so you don't need to do anything. And I'm going to use this in the for loop. Hope you are familiar with the advanced, so-called advanced for loop. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you are familiar with that advanced for loop. So I'm going to say for the iterator till the iterator. Remember, the my iterator is the variable it used. I can use the variable x here. So it dot has next element. So that's the for loop. So look at how I've used the for loop. I have to use this. Okay, for the reverse iterator, and until it has an element. What is the meaning of it is you have the collection of objects here, lot of objects are there. So many objects are there, iterator will keep on going. So I'm asking the question, do you have one more element? If it is yes, go to this element. Do you have one more element? Has next element, that means is there a next element? If it is there, go there. Is there a next element? Go there. Is there a next element? Not there, come out of this for loop. Get rid of this for loop, come out of this for loop. As simple as that. Okay, so I come out of this for loop. Before I come out, if there is an element, I have to show the element. How do I show this element? I'm going to say yes out, and I don't want ln here. Okay, yes out, and I'm going to use and this is what I don't like about that. I hope that antivirus software is detecting the viruses, because it every now and then it is showing a error message. Let's come back to this subject. Now let's say it is my iterator. Let's look at this one, it, and I'm going to say get me the next element. If you have the next element, then get the next element, as simple as that. So I'm going to say give me the dot next element, plus I'm going to put the space. Now one thing you must notice that I'm not so very familiar or an advanced Java uh, developer that I can use the comma and get this one. My list, what is this thing? My list, how it's going to come is it's going to come like this 40 30 20 10, like this it's going to come. But their list, if you notice that there is a comma. Okay, that's my difference between my and their list. That's why I put a space here, so that that space will be there in between one element. Okay, and this last closing bracket or bracket I have added. So this is how it's going to look like. Okay, and naturally there is a break there, and let's go with that break. Let me run this and let's show it in action. First create the list. That's going to be a terrible option. So I'm going to create at the first location. I'm going to let me zoom in for you. I'm going to create 10 20 30 like this. So 10 at the position number 1. Okay, again insert at the position number 2, insert the 20. Again at the position number 3, insert the element 30. That's enough. I have 3 elements there. That's enough for me, and I'm going to iterate in the reverse order. Let me go with the C, and let's see what is it I'm going to get. The original list is look at here. They have the way of putting a comma there, but I don't know. I'm a beginner, so I don't know how to put the comma there, but I know to get the things in the reverse. 30 was last in the original list. 30 came first. 20 was the next element. Remember, it is not sorting. Don't get the wrong information. This is the first node. It is pointing to this node. it is pointing to this node. It is a linked list that you are creating. The elements are not sorted in that. Where is this thing? This is the linked list that you have created. Okay, you are going in the reverse order. That's it. Don't say that okay 10:30, or are you sorting it? I am not sorting in the reverse order. I'm just going the element. I'm reading the element in the reverse order. 10 was the first element, 20 was the next element. Instead of 20, 30 was there, it would have come in the reverse order. Okay, this is the next element. It when it is reading it, it reads in this order regardless of the element. Okay, done with that. Let's press the favorite choice, and that is the X. Let's come back, and then let's go with the choice number D. So case, what is this? Case D. This is our choice this time, and let me put the break before I forget that. So every case must have a break. And what is that we are supposed to do? So that what is it that we are supposed to compare two linked lists? Now the question comes is, where is the second linked list? Okay, now this is going to be a terrible problem to you. Where is the second list linked list? Now now the problem is they made a mistake. Okay, they gave you and they said that create a linked list. Now they are saying that there should have been a second linked list. Where is the second linked list? How do I get the second linked list? Now I cannot type this whole thing again and start creating it. This is going to be a terrible thing. So because they made a mistake, I'm going to encash their mistake in my favor. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate that linked list. Whatever linked list I created here in the step 1, I'm going to make the clone or replicate that linked list and use it as a second linked list. I'm not going to supply new elements to this. So is it wrong? The answer is not wrong, because they said create a linked list and now they are saying there is a second linked list. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say my second list is, how do I get the second list? I go to the first list and I'm going to say clone yourself. You know what is the meaning of saying clone? Hope you studied Java. If you're not studied, please clear that Java paper and then come over to the advanced Java. You are making a clone of the existing element. Remember, if you just make f list equal to s list equal to f list, it's going to point to the same object. It's not going to point to the next object. Here it's going to replicate that one. However, when you clone it, let me show that. When you clone this particular thing, let me start putting this from the beginning. When you clone it, you are not going to get the list, you're going to get the object. So you have to typecast it. So how do I typecast? If you don't know how to typecast it, allow the NetBeans to do that typecasting for you. There is a bulb over here. Just click on it and the NetBeans itself will say, do you want me to typecast? Just click yes, and NetBeans will do this typecasting. Hope you know what is a typecasting. Okay, it just creates the second list is created. Okay, now the question is, you want to compare the two list. Okay, how do you compare this two list? Question is very simple. I go to the first list. Okay, and I'm going to say whether my first list equals, remember what is this, equals, okay, compares a specified object with this list for the equality and returns true if and only if, okay, specified object is also there in the list. Both the list have the same size. That's the first thing. Both of them must be equal in size, and all the corresponding pairs of elements in the two lists are equal. Okay, hope you get that thing. If not, you read it. So the two lists must have the same size. That means their length must be same, and individual element, corresponding elements must be equal. This is what it does. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Remember, it's already there. Java people know that this can be done. Okay, so you don't have to tell the Java that I'm going to write it. Java already has that option for you. Okay, if the first list is equal to the second list, you just print and say that the elements are, or what is this, list are equal, not the elements, sorry, lists are equal. Okay, else what you are going to say? Else you are going to say lists, let me say lists are not equal. Okay, simple as that. Okay, and break it. Let me do that thing. I'm going to do it. It is going to take a slightly longer time with this demonstration. So let me run this one and let me show you what it's going to do. So I'm going to first insert. First of all, I have to create the element. So I'm going to insert at the first location. I'm going to insert the element 10, and in the second location again, I'm going to insert 20. Okay, and in the third location, I'm going to insert a 30 or maybe 40 for your satisfaction. Now I'm going to say compare it. Remember, it's going to make the replica of the same list. It will clone the list and you are going to compare it. And naturally, you must get the answer as they are equal. Okay, what is the answer? List are equal. Hope you get that thing. Now I'm going to show you that the lists are not equal. How do I do that thing? Lists are not equal. Many ways in which you can do it. If you have time, try it. I'm going to show it only one way by changing the length of the second list. So I'm going to say second list. Remember, I'm making the clone of the first list. Now for the second list, I'm going to add a number 90, 990. So now you notice that this is the replica of the old list, first list. Second list is the replica of the first list, but second list has one extra element, 999. I have added one extra element. Now this time if I compare it, because one element, the length of this is more than the length of the previous one, you must get the lists are not equal. Let me try it and let me prove my point to you. So I'm going to go over here. Let me zoom in. So I'm going to insert an element A. At the position 1, I'm going to insert the 10. Again, I'm going to insert only two elements. At the position A, I'm going to insert the second position. I'm going to insert 50. Okay, done with it. Now I'm going to go with the comparison. Remember, this time the comparison, two elements are replicated because there are two elements are there. What was the two elements? So you have this 10 and 50 and 999. Extra one element is there. What is this extra one element? 999. That is I have added. So I'm going to go with the two, and you notice that the lists are not equal. Hope you get that idea there. Okay, so let me press the favorite one, X. Let me come over here, and now let me go to the next option. What is my next option? So after break, I'm going to go to the case A, B, C, D, E. E is the choice there. So what is this choice E there? The choice E is convert the linked list into array list. So how difficult it is to do that? Remember, I'm going to recreate this object and you can just dump that object, but I'm going to keep that object as it is. I'm going to just create a new array list out of it. Okay, there is nothing called as you can't do a surgery on the linked list and convert it into a array list. It is not possible. You have to create a array list from the scratch. So how difficult it is to create the array list? First of all, let me create this array list. So I'm going to type array list and control space it, and that means it's going to tell you are you talking about array list which is there in the utilities. I'm going to say yes, that's the one, and I'm going to say list of array list of integer. Okay, and I'm going to say a list. Okay, let me say a list is my array list. Okay, how do I create this one? I'm going to create a new array list. Okay, array list, get done. And I'm going to go to the second option. Remember, this is a very straightforward option. If you give a collection to the array list, it's going to create the new array list for it. And by the way, if you are not very familiar, linked list is also a part of the collection. Hope you have studied about theory by now, and you know that it is the it is a part of a collection. So I'm going to say I'm not going to use the S list. I'm going to use the F list. That's my first list. I'm going to create an array list out of it. So that's being done, and I'm going to say okay, what I can say elements in the can I say that elements in the array list are okay. So elements in the array list are okay. Should I show it in the next line, or should I think I'm going to show it in the next line. Okay, so simple as that. And array list, you know very well, you already done. A list is your array list. This is the list, and a to print method is already there. And the last thing that you do is to break. Okay, done with it. Let me run it for the first time, for the last time. I'm going to run it. Now I'm going to show all of them, including the last option, that is to create the array list. So let me start with the A there. So I'm going to use in the first location, I'm going to type 90, get done. Again, I'm going to insert the element A for inserting the element. In the second location, I'm going to insert a 10. Okay, I'm going to insert one more element. I will not take up most of your time. So 90, 10, remember, it is just a linked list. It is not sorted or anything. It's just a list. Okay, in the position number 3, maybe position number 1 itself, I'm going to insert 50. Okay, let me go to the swap option, that is B. Okay, so the elements are 90 and 10. I'm going to interchange maybe 90 and 90 is at the position number 2, and the second element is the position number 3. 90 and 10, I'm going to interchange these two elements. I would have done anything, okay, by that. Okay, so 90 original was 50, 90, 10, and now it is 50, 10, 90. If you want, you can again do that. Remember, now I'm going to call iterate in the reverse order. C. Remember, it is just iterating in the reverse order. It is not sorting. Don't get confused and say that it is sorting. You are just iterating in the reverse order. That's it. You're coming back in the reverse order. That's it. Last one is the compare it. Remember, the comparison fails because I have one extra element. Hope you've seen that thing. I added one extra. Where is that thing? I added one extra element, and that's why it is comparison is failing. Okay, if you remove this, comparison will be successful. So I'm going to just say the comparison has failed. Remember, don't use that thing. And remember, your external examiner may say that you replicated the list, and how come it is not comparing to be same? I have added one extra element to the second one. So my comparison are not equal. Done. Let me convert it into the array list, and you will not see any new things because it's just an array list that you have it over here. And my favorite one is X. This is demonstrated many a times, and you say thank you and come out of this one. Again, thank you for your interest. We will meet again in the next